Boxwoods are a shrub that seem to be everywhere, and I love seeing all the different ways that they're utilized in a landscape. They are the ultimate formal garden evergreen for topiary and hedging, but they absolutely have a place in less formal gardens in their natural form, especially if you're looking for an evergreen with a softer look and feel than your typical hollies and conifers. Now, boxwoods are native to Europe, Asia, North Africa, but they've been welcomed into American landscapes as early as the 1600s. They're considered to be deer resistant, which is always a plus, and they come in great variety, so you can be choosy about the size and the shape and even the leaf color. But before you choose, take the necessary time to consider the site where you're hoping to plant. There are certain conditions that you want to avoid with box, such as clay or waterlogged soils. You want moist, well-drained organic soil. The roots will extend well beyond the canopy, and they do not compete well with turf, so give them a thin layer of natural mulch or wood chips, and that'll also protect their shallow roots from moisture and temperature extremes. Also avoid planting boxwoods in high exposure or wide open areas. They do much better in partial shade where they can have some shelter and protection from the afternoon sun, especially in the wintertime where they can get sun scald or where excessive winds could cause the foliage to lose too much water and they can dry out. Now, boxwoods are affected by quite a few insect and disease pests, but they can be managed. For example, boxwood blight, which is a fungal disease that can spread rapidly if not treated. And as far as insects go, there's boxwood leaf miner. And one that's actually relatively new to North America is the box tree moth. And other pests and diseases can be found on boxwoods as well, so routine inspections are recommended. But it's such a popular plant that it's been cultivated into so many different varieties, and some of these varieties are actually less susceptible to certain insect pests and disease. And what that can mean is better health with less treatments needed. And if you live outside the typical hardiness zone for a boxwood species, certain varieties have been developed to push those boundaries, so it may be worth looking into. Now, regarding pruning, if you are pruning during the growing season, just make sure you're doing so when frost is not a possibility. The new growth that comes forth after pruning a boxwood is highly susceptible to frost damage. Alternatively, you can avoid frost damage by pruning them in the dormant season when new growth won't occur. Now, this may seem like a lot to consider, but if you think about the utility and the versatility of this plant and the way that boxwoods can bring texture and depth to a landscape year-round, it's easy to see why they've been used so often for so long.